and go. On 3.
Hi, welcome to the Swole Initiative Network. You are watching the Fables of Gahlia, the correct way to start your Friday. So thank you for being here nice and early. Before we jump in to today's chapter, we're going to get through some of our awesome brand partners. I wasn't here when someone decided who's starting. Oh, you're doing one? Take it away.
Swole only roll on Norse Foundry. Amazing gemstone and metal dice. And all of our featured music comes from the free library available on Apple Music and Spotify. By the one and only... I got that right. Yeah, sorry.
You're doing great.
By the one and only Norse Foundry.
Keep rolling.
Use the code SWOLE, SWOLE, to save 10% on NorseFoundry.com.
Excellent. Who is next?
It's
Betty?
me, the indomitable snowman. This is going so well. This is going awesome. Okay, the indomitable Dogmite
Exactly the end of the
supplies all of our luxury tabletop accessories in solid and natural stained woods like you've never seen them before. You can go to dogmite.com to see the true champions of creativity. You can use the code SWOLE and get 15% off of your purchase. And guys, they're doing some really cool stuff over there. If you've been watching their Instagram, go follow it. They've got a lot of cool stuff. And then look over at Jay's DM screen there. That is custom Dogmite work, as well as the cute little rolling tray with the little feet on it. Love it. Love it.
I like feats on rolling trays.
Don't do that. Don't do
Don't
that.
do
That's
that.
weird. You made it weird.
We just like
Anyways, we love
He's a
Dogmite.
footman.
Yeah.
Indeed. I guess that means that it would be the Dragon Man himself.
That's right. Did y'all know that Dragon Man is a sexual deviant?
Yes, I was going to announce it later, but I'm glad you did it.
Yep.
We
All
have,
right. Oh, sorry.
We do have t-shirts and other merch and things designed by the one and only Dyson Devil Horns. That should be live on there as well. So I'll put a link up, but take it away, Brent.
Yep. Sorry. I didn't mean to switch orders on things. But anyway, all right, you guys. It's time to give a special thank you and shout out to our next sponsor of the evening. Say it with me. Griffin Co. All right. All of our 3D printed and custom terrain stuff that you see on our show is from Griffin Co. If you'd like to get in on this awesome action, just go on over to griffinco.com and use the promo code SWOLE22 at checkout, and you will receive 22% off of your entire order.
That's right. Which leaves us with Paul. Why don't you finish
Ooh,
it?
I get to do one this time. Yay! Not to be outdone by Brent. I get to do I need a Hero Forge. I'm holding out for a custom by the end of the month. It's gotta be cool and it's gotta be fast, exactly the way that I want.
That was really
Our fully custom player minis
like
come
it.
from the awesome Hero Forge. Design yours today at heroforge.com.
Fantastic. Yes. So I that took me off guard, but I enjoyed every moment of it.
So good.
Here we go. Boom. There you go. There is the link in the chat for the Dyson Devil Horns. That Dragon Man is a sexual deviant. In entire merch line. You can get mugs and hoodies and all sorts of things out there. But yes, you can support the channel and get an awesome t-shirt designed by awesome people in the community. So go check them out. Other things. Oh, also, we are part of the March to GaryCon because many of us will actually be at GaryCon. GaryCon runs from insert date to insert date. The 23rd of this month through the 26th.
22nd, 23rd to the 26th. Yes.
Well remembered.
Yes! Yes, 23rd through the 26th of March, at the end of this month, we will be, well, myself, Betty, Diane, Paul, Mike, and Eric will be there for 2 days out of the 3. But we'll all be there. So if you're going to, if you happen to be in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, just happen to be there.
I mean, everyone is in Wisconsin, right?
or you're actually planning to go, then definitely come and see us. Like, come and find us. We will be out there in force. I'll be recording content and things out there, so I shouldn't be that hard to miss. The big camera and microphone and things, so I'll be around. But yes, come and check us out. But if you cannot be there, fret not, because Gary Con Online is there for you with games and panels and all sorts. So follow along, support the awesome Luke Gygax and his venture with his ode to his late father. So Gary Con. I'm gonna try and quickly get through the rest of these things. So we have flex points available for everyone. At the bottom left hand of the chat, you will see a flexing arm, not unlike this one right here, which you can click on and spend channel points that you earn for free just by watching. So once 10 people spend 1,000 channel points on an individual player, that means they get a flex point, and they get to flex their abilities and basically get a backdoor to the rule of cool to kind of turn the narrative in cool ways, which has ended up making some really epic moments. So team up together in the chat, decide who you think needs to get the point, and bomb that person with flex points. Other than that, we do have a sub goal. It is set at 30. Once we reach 30, you will get, or you won't automatically get, we'll run a giveaway. But it's for a Norse series set of dice, metal dice, where the high number is different. Oh, there you go. The high number are different Nordic symbols. Diane showing off the Eggeshjalmer there. But they're really, really awesome. So as soon as we hit that, now Prime subs count, and regular subs count, and gifted subs count. So any way that you can help support the channel, thank you so much. It's going into launching a couple of shows that will be starting up here in the next couple of months, including a Call of Cthulhu campaign run by Ashley, who's not here. But hi, Ashley, wherever you are.
She was in the chat a second ago.
I know. I don't know if she's still here. But yes, so we've got lots of things coming up. It's been building up because we've been saving up money to use on some really, really cool things to make the shows as awesome as possible. So yes, flex points, subs, follows are free. Did you know that? You can click on the follow button right now. You can just give it a little poop of love, and that sends a little message to Twitch that says, hey, there's some people that like this channel, and that helps us out a lot. So if you're able to, I assume you're able to if you managed to get this far, you can click on the follow button if you're not already following us. That's probably what I should have said. Click on the follow button, you'll get a character rolled on the screen. It's fun. The combinations are pretty nuts sometimes, so yes, awesome. But if you're unable to do any of those things, but you are here currently, thank you. That's what we do it for. We love you so much. Thank you for being here right from the beginning. I know life is pretty chaotic for most everyone right now, so yeah, we appreciate it. And we have a YouTube, which Nightbot just put up there. Was that you?
That was me.
Was that you? Yeah. Thought so. We have a YouTube, which is also free to subscribe to. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so it really, really helps if you go there and just click, and then, you know, even if you don't need to catch up, because you're here live all the time, occasionally you will miss one that you'll want to catch up on, and that's where it lives on, in the ether. So you can watch it there to catch up and everything like that. So Awesome. And yeah, Captain Cowboy, you can join the Discord as well. We have a Discord where we hang out, and
There it is.
that's what we do. We hang out and talk about D&D and life and other things that are not D&D. I think I've spoken enough for right now. I haven't made a total ass of myself, so now is probably the best time for us to split and head to the trailer and kick off tonight's chapter of the Fables of Gahlia. And welcome back. So, on the last chapter of Fables of Gahlia, wow, a lot happened. So you guys had met with the Council of Four Pillars, the sort of governing body over the dwarven city of Boldar, and you presented your evidence to the council about Owain and the goings on, and they let on that he was booted out from the council for his dealings with the mage Grigor. From there, you guys moved on. And were promised a reward of your choosing if it was within their power. Leaving the chamber, you guys went back to the library, the Great Archives, where Davith was used. Not used, but Davith was utilized by Rose in order to pull up anything he knew to do with the Copper Skull. Which he did. He showed all of the previous shared knowledge from the Sprocket Citadel in the New Dawn Empire, the Gnomish Tinkerer Kingdom. Showed all of the shared works of auto-gnomes and blueprints for the next step of what they were going to do, including one very familiar gyroscope-looking creation, which was revealed to be basically a false soul in order to let the mechanics work. But something very, very similar to a copper skull was found in the pages of this book. And so, after that, deciding that you had wanted to access to a teleportation circle to teleport on to the city of Heliacal, you guys had the rest of the day to spend by yourselves. And so, leaving the great archives and the palace walls, you are back out on the main streets of Boldar with David in tow. What would you like to do?
Did y'all know that they were going to make us friends of Boldar? That's pretty.
No, is that
That's
a big
pretty
deal?
big deal.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that. I mean, it's like we don't have any real power, but we're like special.
Oh.
Like we can't go out and make a proclamation or anything. But if we wanted to get in and, maybe it's, how we had to go through all the steps to see, to get an audience with the council.
Yeah.
And how big, how hard that how we kind of had to. Yeah, you know what we went through. Well, I don't think we have to do that now. We can just say, "Hey, it's us. Can we come say hi?" I mean, we wouldn't take advantage of it because that's not the kind of people we are. We're the Army of Fate. We're a lot smarter than that. But it's pretty special.
Wow, that's very special and can be very convenient.
Yeah. It's weird how, you've always been, you and Lily have always said, it's fate and how things work out. And it really is. The fate is like all over everything that's happened since we met you guys.
Or maybe we've just opened your eyes to something that was already happening.
I don't know. I mean, maybe. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably true, but in some ways. But it was like, since we met you, you and Lily, since Roz and I, first met you guys. And we became friends, and it just seemed like everything kept happening, and it worked out for some reason that was important down the road. You know what I mean?
I do.
And it's like every little happenstance or decision or choice has brought us to this point, and I feel like one small change of an event might have put us somewhere completely different. We would have never met you guys, and we would have never been together on the road, and we would have never been to, Hunger's Edge, and we would have never lost her, Ashley. I mean, oh my gosh, Adeline's book. And then we wouldn't have ever had to come here. And we wouldn't have never been named Friends of Boldar. If my dad found out about that, I think he would be really proud.
Wow.
It's just crazy.
The thing about fate is I think you have to remember that it's not like it's not like telling the future. The future is always changing, but it's like a guide on a path.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I think that's probably the best way to put it. It's like a guide on a path.
Yeah, because you're not bound to anything that's specifically going to happen, and your will is not taken away because the future is already decided.
Yeah.
But
Well, it seems that fate has chosen for me to be destined to meet my goal of leaving a legacy, but at a pretty substantial cost.
Yes.
My name is
Your
getting out
legacy
there,
is
but
right
I'm
here.
racking up a good amount of debt for it.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if it's
think-
really equitable anymore.
Maybe
think
that is
that-
the legacy.
I
Yeah.
think that's kind of the opposite of a legacy.
Yeah, the debt is the legacy, I think.
Hmm.
Your
But-
legacy lives on in this book.
I like to make a saving throw against frightened. The debt is the legacy. Oh my god, against fear. Oh man.
Well, I said that, but I think your legacy is more than just the debt. I don't know that you'll ever clear the debt, but I think maybe when you die that the sisters will forgive the remainder of the balance.
Even in death, your debt stands.
I mean, she can literally call me back from the dead to hound me about my debts. That's
Yeah, but I think at that point though, she'll have to go through
No.
the Raven Queen.
no, I have the power to do things.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that debt would really scare the crap out of me.
I feel really
That's
motivated to
better.
continue on. Just somebody give me a drink quickly.
Well, aren't we headed back to the bar?
And the carnival, what is it again, David?
The Boulder Bouts. It's a annual carnival fair. People come from all around and set up. It's actually in the large sort of open area outside of the whole Boulder walls. That way we can set it up on the grassy area. But there's lots of different things to do. It's a pretty good way to spend the day if you're not traveling till the evening.
I think that sounds wonderful.
It's called the Boulder Bouts.
Yes, lots of competitions and things.
Ooh, what kind of competitions?
All sorts. They tend to change every year because it depends on who brings through. Because they're not actually from Boulder, they come from outside and sort of build up the carnival outside.
Can we win gold?
I mean, maybe. I mean,
And you'll be there?
I mean, will I be there?
Yeah.
Well, of course he will. He'll have to show us around.
I think we can get around by ourselves.
I think that it would be nice if you came with us.
He's like, sweat starts rolling down his head as he's kind of looking between the two sisters. Maybe I can catch up with you a little later on.
Oh, all right.
I do still have the bar to open, or actually it would make more sense for me to come with you now and then open up the bar later.
Well, then that's decided.
All right. I'll walk you down there, and then I'll probably have to head back at that time to get back up to the bar.
Sure.
You should set up a booth to serve drinks at the carnival.
I'd like to just stare at him unblinking long enough for a fly to like land on my eyeball and then fly away.
Just like crawl around and
Mhm.
fly off. He looks visibly shaken.
Good.
Just sort of a little gray around the edge of his
Yeah.
face. Which is impressive because of how rosy faced he is.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah. All right. Well, and you'll have Jarek as well. Unless you've got somewhere to be. Like, I could be wherever I want to be. That's
Then
the
Jarek
pleasure
can
of
come.
being me.
Lily, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Are
There
you
was
okay?
Yeah, I mean there was a bug on your eye, and you just didn't even like care.
Probably didn't feel it.
Oh, I should have let you know so you could have. I'm sorry. I'll let you know next time.
Okay. Thank you. Keep my cover up.
I should probably check on Montague and Bensworth, though, so maybe I'll catch up with you guys later.
Oh wow, they've been waiting down there for a while.
Yes, they have. I don't usually leave them this long. I'm a little worried, I'm not gonna lie.
It's been. Oh yeah, it's been
24
like
hours.
a whole
Yep.
day.
I told them I'd be right back.
Okay.
And then I went out with Lost, so really it's his fault.
Do I need
That's
to
not
add
gonna
it to
cost
the
me
dead
anything,
list?
Tatty bye, everyone! And he takes off.
Bye, Mr. Darcy.
I'll see you at the fair!
Rose, that David sure is nice, isn't he?
Isn't David
Thank
still
you.
here? Yeah.
I thought he left.
No, that was Mr.
Yeah.
It was
Darcy.
just Darcy.
That's
He looks up and says, "No, I'm just short."
No, you're nice. You've been really nice
Yes,
this whole time.
you thought I'd gone. I'm not gone. I'm just short.
I know, but I sometimes I'm not paying attention. Like sometimes somebody will be wearing an article of clothing, and it's like a special article of clothing, and then it's like I can't even see it, and then I realize it later, and we've had a whole conversation about it, and it's weird that way with me sometimes. Sometimes
Sounds
I'm really
odd.
observant. Sometimes I'm really perceptive and observant. Sometimes I'm just like so self-absorbed in my own world for a minute that I miss the whole conversation.
So self-absorbed that you missed everything around.
Yeah.
There might be some work you need to do on that.
Can I hear the fair going on? Or is it pretty far?
So you guys are kind of the opposite. So you're walking away from the castle, which is against the mountainside, out
Okay.
towards Boldar proper, heading towards the full tankard to drop off.
Debbie.
Well, no, he's going with you now. So
Oh, he's going with us, yeah.
You're heading that way. So back down through the sort of nicer area, back down, and then you'll go out the main gates, or you can go out the side gates and go down the hill rather than all the steps. But I would say from here you could probably see the starting of the fair, like a couple of the tents and things. Like
Okay.
obviously the outside walls of Boldar, so you can't see all of it.
Mhm.
But from this perspective, you can kind of see some of the furthest part of it being set up, like little fence posts and things being put up, and little stands and things. You can see lots of people sort of traveling in as well from around the area.
Awesome. So it's not ready yet.
Well, it's like nigh on completely set up, but you know how like the first day of a carnival, like everything's still like,
Yep.
yeah, it's fine. You can try it. Like it's just like hammering it. It's fine.
Awesome.
It doesn't need checking.
Like the grass is still growing in between before it's all trampled down.
Awesome. Okay.
So yeah, it's just like first day. So
Got it.
some people are running late and things, but most of it's there. You just can't see it right now.
We should go check that out.
I agree. I think it would be a really fun experience.
Mm-hmm.
You look towards Adeline and you see that she's pretty low, like energy-wise. Rhapsody turns to her and says, "Are you feeling all right, dear?" She says, Yes, I just think that the whole being punched in the stomach kind of took a lot out of me. And Rhapsody offers up and says, well, I can always take you back to the tavern and we can rest for a little while. And she says, I think that might be best. And so Rhapsody offers up and says, I think I'll look after this one. You go have your fun.
Okay,
Just don't forget me before you leave.
we could never.
Really? Did you have to say that?
We'll get you something.
Make sure it's pretty.
Of course.
That's
And
not
so-
what I was thinking when I was thinking of something to get him. But
They kind of fork off to one side towards the full tankard as you kind of continue through Boulder.
Right. So we're going. Are we going straight to the fair right now? Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, unless you guys want to go. Like, I'm not trying to like force you anywhere, but if you need to go anywhere first, you're welcome to.
No, bouts sound fun.
Like,
Let's
nope,
go.
we're going.
yeah, the last time we left the city, you had a big bout, if I recall correctly. A big drunken bout where you tried to just let someone put an end to you. Let's not do that again.
I remember mud and a circle, and that's about it.
Yeah, well, let's not have a repeat performance.
All right.
I mean, I expect you to fight back this time if that happens. That's all I'm saying.
I have no clue. I was blacked out.
All right,
Lost and
well, yeah.
blacked out.
Yeah, well, it's like you didn't want to fight. You were just, it was like it wasn't you. It was someone else because the lost I know fights back.
I did not want to fight. That just sounds out of character.
All right, that's what I'm saying. It was completely like not you.
Well, if these bouts are what I think, I will definitely fight.
What are we going to?
Well, he's right. It's called bout. Bout's generally a term for like sparring or fighting.
You know,
Like
where
a-
I'm
like a-
from, we had bouts. It was called crowing, and we would fight each other with knives for money, for notoriety, for territory. So this sounds a little similar. Bouts. Excited.
I'll lean over to David and I'll be like, are they even close to what this is?
Less knife fighting. If you take what he said and took the knife fighting out of it, then you're close.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't do it with knives either. Most of the time it was just for training. Well, when I was growing up, it was for fun.
I'm not sure I've ever punched anyone.
You want to punch Lost? Here.
I mean, I don't want to hurt anybody.
I'll punch you. I like to crack and like break my fingers into a fist.
She's like that frog that breaks its-
Well, rigor mortis, you guys. I need to like get my fingers bent into the
Gotta
right.
warm up. Warm the joints up. Where
Yeah.
you go.
Actually, when she hits me, I exaggeratingly fall like 10
No, I
feet
wanna
back.
I wanna
Gotta
roll.
see if she actually hits you.
I wanna roll.
What if she doesn't?
My arm
Yeah.
just flies
Yeah,
off.
no, this will be fun.
Yeah.
What do I roll? Just
It's
a unarmed
It's
strike?
Unarmed
unarmed
strike.
strike. Yep.
15.
Does that make your armor class? I don't think so.
Did
does
you
it?
just get
It
armor?
actually doesn't make my armor class.
So
Good.
so I'll give you the option to take the punch because this isn't going to cause any damage. But if you want to take the punch, then you can.
I will take the punch, but I will recall a time, many times, seeing this famous lord in the Shadowfell. His name was Sir LeBron of the House of James, and I just mimic him, and I fly back like 10 feet and roll on the ground, and just to give the best performance of my life.
You can give me a performance or a deception check.
Deception.
I want it. Or can I use my
A
passive?
10.
You don't
That's
need to use
perfect, though.
anything.
I don't think you can fail that.
I see through this, right? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like everybody else in the world that ever saw Sir LeBron.
It's like watching someone wrestle and completely oversell a finishing move. He's like doing backward rolls and flipping and standing up and then flipping back over again.
Yeah.
You see right through it.
I'm gonna like uncrack my fingers into like a normal like neutral position.
Neutral hand. Got it.
I didn't like that.
Well, I want to try.
You should try it.
I'm good. Like the worst girl punch ever. I'm just gonna pull back and punch him. Oh, it's
What are we doing, guys?
We're punching.
it's 11.
11. Okay, so same again. You have the option to take the punch.
I will take the punch and roll even farther. And then
Alright.
I'll just please stop, save that for the bouts. You guys are killing me. I'd like to file a claim, civil suit, to reduce my debt because of this
Denied.
assault.
Yeah, you were playing it off anyway.
All right.
Maybe we don't fight, but we'll watch.
You know, we'll probably make it to the fair a little quicker if we don't punch our way there. We just walk.
Should I punch you?
That's funny. And I'll just kind of like put my arm around his and just start walking ahead.
Was she serious?
I don't think so. She has a very niche sense of humor.
Gods think I'm funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess you just
Doesn't-
don't have a
doesn't
sense
really
of
know what to
humor
say
like
to
a
that.
god.
Yeah, so after a little while, you guys can make it through the are you going out the side gate or the front gate?
The one that doesn't
Going
have
down?
stairs.
Yeah, or at the side then. So going out the side gate, which will happen a little earlier then, you start sort of walking down the hillsides that kind of cascade. Instead of it kind of being hard steps, the hillsides are kind of more flowing, where it hasn't kind of been carved into to make the shape for whole boulder. But as you kind of crest around that corner, you start seeing the spread of the Boldar Bouts fairgrounds. Excuse me, sorry. So you see like these like bunting streamers, like from post to post, different colored flags and things. There's people shouting and cheering. There are different stalls set up. There's all kinds of different things. There's animals. There's like little petting zoos and things. And everyone's kind of just shambling into this thing.
I will also shamble
Yeah. Let's
Right.
go.
as
Off
I
we
do
shamble.
normally.
Yeah. So as you make it to the gates, you see sort of a fairly tall half-elf gentleman at the front, taking coins to let people in. He says, "Are you all for the fair?
Yes.
1 silver each."
Sure. And I will give 1 silver for each of us.
David's like, I can pay for me.
It's all right. I already have it.
He can pay for himself.
I already paid for it.
Well, you can pay her back.
Do we get special seats? We are friends of Horbolder.
You know that's not actually a official thing, right? It's just a phrase.
Oh, it's not a real thing?
Is that a title?
It's a real thing. It's just for people. It's like polite for people who like Horbolder that aren't from Horbolder. So you're friends of Horbolder. Does that make sense?
Oh. I don't think I'm going to tell my dad after all.
Or you could, and he might not know the difference either.
I just thought it was like a special thing.
What's better than being enemies?
All right. Well, yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yep.
Well,
Out to the cheap seats we go.
well, what do you want to do first?
What is there to do?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
I will.
That is a 26.
You see everything there is to do. From where you are currently, you see there is. Let me see. My list goes over the page. So you see there is a couple of different things that stands out to you initially. There is a long bench with pies across it. One like set up in stations. So there's that. You also see a makeshift kind of pen with a few humanoids and things kind of leaning over the fence post and kind of leaning down and scratching on the back of a pig that resides within the pen. You also see, what do you see from here? You would also see them setting up or finishing setting up what looks like these long lanes. 2 lanes like facing like parallel to one another with fences, wooden fences with some stands behind it. And you also see them leading what you know to be yoke goats around. So they're ambling around and just every now and then.
So it looks like a pie eating contest, a pig kissing booth, and yoke races?
Kiss pigs? What?
I don't think that's quite what that one is.
What is it?
Well, we could always go and see.
Sure.
I can hang around for a minute before I leave, but if we want to head to that one.
Sure.
Okay. So you guys walk up to the pen, which is like a as close to a circle as you can get with fence posts, and then it has this gigantic pig sat there in the grass chewing. It's got like it's so like overweight that, you know, the front of its head, like its forehead, is kind of like slumped over its eyes, and you can't see its eyes, and it's just there chomping on whatever like apples and things that it's being fed on. But that thing is shiny. It's sparkling in the sun. And there is a halfling that is kind of running up and taking people's tokens and things, sees you guys coming up and says, are you guys in?
What are you doing?
Oh, this is wait, I have his name. This is El Blanco.
And
What does that mean?
what is that?
El Blanco, the white one.
Oh. The pig?
And he's completely like albino looking.
What's the competition, or what's the aim or goal of the event?
To catch him.
By any means necessary?
Well, any fair means.
Well, what's unfair?
Using magic or equipment and things, you just got to get in there by yourself and catch him, because the pig doesn't have anything special, so you can't have it either.
I'm out. I don't want to do this one.
I'll do it.
You're in?
Sure.
I'll take 1 silver piece.
Okay.
Got you.
Kaya's pretty fast.
I'm not as fast as Roz, but I can almost keep up.
And what about you, sir? Are you going to join in?
To roll in the pen with the pigs, huh?
Is there any muscle under that big breastplate of yours?
Oh. No, he didn't. I'm like, I turn over to Rose and I go, can you hold this for me? And I start taking off my armor.
Oh no!
Great.
I start getting
you get down to the loincloth?
My loincloth.
Oh,
Yep.
great. This is getting better. I feel like
So El
Rose's
Blanco.
arms are just kind of out, and like clothing is just being thrown into them, and she's just like,
Yeah, and then I just give the biggest Swole flex, and I give him a silver piece.
Ooh. Give me a performance check on that flex.
One.
oh,
So I got a
no.
3.
You get a cramp?
At least I get the ones out of the way. Yeah.
He looks up at you and says, "Yeah, not quite impressed yet. Let's see if you can get this one. Who's up first?"
I'll go.
All right, let him in. And so they open up a little bit of the pen for you to walk in there. He says, leave that whip out here. You can just hang it on the post.
All right.
All right. First up is the Green Dragon versus El Blanco. And all the crowd's like, ooh. First bout of the day. Here we go. And he walks over to the large like pig that's just sat there, just kind of being engulfed in its own cheeks. Walks up to its rear and just like slaps it, and away he goes. And he's like, off you go then. So how are you approaching the pig as it's kind of just running around in random directions?
I am going to. Is the pin exactly circular, or what shape is the pin in?
I mean, as circular as you can get it. It's probably like an octagon.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna first just kind of cut off, half of the arena behind me, and just kind of keep, going back and forth to try to get it closer. As I get closer and closer, cut it
Sure.
off from going one way or the other, and then
Okay.
Yeah.
You make a dive for it.
Yeah.
All right, give me an athletics check with disadvantage.
Athletics? Okay.
You gotta catch a pig, man.
I thought that would be more like acrobatics.
You're backflipping off of it.
At disadvantage? Okay.
Yep.
I rolled on the first roll, I rolled an 18. Let's see what I get on the second one. Oh, well, that's a 7 plus 1. 8.
8. So as you make a dive for him, you actually wrap your arms around him, and then he just slips out and continues like around the pen. As you look down, you see that there's something slick that's been left on your arm.
Yeah, I suspected that.
Would I be able to see that just watching?
You'd be able to see that he slipped out, and that I didn't hide the fact that he was shining.
Right. Okay.
I'm going to. I'm going to punch the ground with both arms with my special punches, and make it not like full on flames, but like just heat to melt that stuff off so that it's no longer slick on me. So it just kind of make it evaporate.
Could it
I don't want
start a grease
I
fire?
know. Is it flammable?
No, I don't want it to flame up. I just want it to evaporate off of me.
Yeah, I mean, you do that, and your fists ignite in flame, but the grease does not burn away. It's not going to evaporate.
Okay.
So you make another pass at him.
Yes, I'm going to try something different this time, though. Let's
Okay.
see what I have. I'm going to. Is this kind of like an bonus action economy? Can I do something?
Nope, it's just
Okay.
grabbing the pig. That's all
Alright,
you
well,
gotta
I
do.
want-
That's your
okay,
action.
what I
Your
want to
action
do
is
then-
grab the pig.
All right, what I want to do then is I want to feint like I'm gonna go for its rear, and then I'm gonna do like a side cartwheel flip and jump over in front of it, and then grab it from the front, and then I'm going to wrap my arms around its neck and my legs around its side, so that I'm got him with all 4 limbs, and then I'm going to use my tail to try to take its feet out from under it, so that I'm rolling with it.
All right. Yeah. Make another athletics check. Again with disadvantage.
Why is he?
All right, well, that's
disadvantaged?
a 16, and that's a
Probably because of the grease.
Oh, okay.
17. Okay, so a 16. I rolled a 16. and a
16.
17. Yeah.
So you jump over and sort of jump over as he's running towards you. He kind of kicks away and then kicks towards you, dropping and then trying to wrap him up, sweeping his feet from under him. As you wrap him up, he just kind of corkscrews both of it, all 4 of his legs like off the ground, just kind of, and then slips out from your grasp, and he falls into like some of the hay that's on the ground, but he gets up and just carries on.
Is the arena like dirt or is it mud?
It's not dirt. It's a mixture of grass and hay that's kind of been put down.
Okay.
Is it bigger than a 30-foot cube?
No. No, absolutely not.
Is the little halfling near me?
I mean, yeah, he's pretty near.
I thought you said that there was no trickery.
There isn't.
Well, he's covered in grease.
Yeah, and you could see that before you got in here.
Oh. Do you think it looks like rain?
No?
Oh, I thought I felt a drop of water.
No idea.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't really know what you're angling for. Gonna keep watching this guy.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of step back a little bit. And I'm gonna create water. And it's gonna rain.
Okay.
It's gonna rain in a 30-foot cube.
You're casting a spell
Yeah.
out in the open.
Well, I'm backing up, trying to like. I can do a sleight of hand if you'd like, because it is a.
Well, you're creating water out of thin air.
Yeah, but doesn't it look like rain?
So you cast the spell, create water, and he looks back at you and goes, "Hey, cheating, disqualified, no winnings, out you get."
I'm sorry, I thought I was.
I was going to try and
'Cause
do a
they
minor
cheated.
illusion
He's
to make
covered
a
in
cloud.
grease.
Okay. And
It's
I call
my
him
fault.
out.
He
No
can-
trickery.
It's my fault. He can go again. I'm not him.
Right.
I don't care. You tried to scuff up his go. So, nah, out you go.
I'm out. All right, Lost, it's your turn. By the way, he's covered in grease.
Yeah, good luck with that. I'm not allowed to help you this time like I did the last time you were in a bout.
So I start to strut towards the pen, and as I pass by Rose and Lily, I just go, I apologize in advance. And I look at the crowd and I go, you might want to cover your kid's eyes. And I pull off my loincloth and I flip it until it's like a rope. You know, I flip it until like a rope. And when they launch the pig off, I'm gonna try to jump and with the loincloth, kind of get it over the pig's neck so that I can kind of wrap and hang on with my loincloth. So that I don't slip off. I'm gonna rope it, basically.
Sweet. So as you jump on, make an athletics check. It is still with the disadvantage.
Okay. I'm pretty good at athletics though, so let's see here. Fuck. I rolled another one, so I got a 9.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
I told you El Blanco has never been caught. And so you like go to wrap it around, and it's just like squeezing a bar of soap. Like you just created that tension, and it's weird, right? Because it sinks in, but it just kind of squidges him, kind of like a string of sausages, and he just like pops out the other side. But you did take off quite a considerable amount of the grease with that. Your loincloth is now soaked in whatever they greased him up with.
It's probably lard.
But it did seem to
Ironically.
remove quite a bit.
Huh. Okay, yeah, like a rock star, I throw that out to the crowd. And then
Wait,
I get
What?
So there's as you throw it out, there's this gnome in the crowd that's like covering his face, and you just throw it out, and it goes between two, like it's like bolus, like spinning through the air, and it goes in between two fence posts, and just like just wraps around his head and touches on the other side, and he's like.
I'm gonna run over there and like get it off of him. I'm just gonna like I'm so sorry, and I'll hold on to this and I'll take it back over to our little circle.
All right, you're gonna make another run at this pig.
I'm gonna make another run. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, basically like try to match the pig's speed running around the pen, like running parallel to it, and then try to time a jump where I can get into like a headlock.
Okay.
Yep.
You can make your athletics check.
Athletics check. Okay. 22.
22. So that headlock, now that the grease is taken off, you're actually able to get your arm around it. You feel it starting to slip out, but you reach underneath and grip onto your other fingers and just squeeze in. And it starts to slow down, and you start sliding with him as he's running. Like this pig is pretty strong. He's got a lot of weight to him. He's kind of dragging you for a little bit, and then he starts to slow down and then just on the side, just legs up, just had enough. It's done. And the halfling's like, no!
I get up and like, just by fate, the hay and the grass is like stuck to my groin strategically, and you can't see anything at all. It's just like it just happens to be covered.
Wow, it's like a movie.
Yeah.
Yes, so everyone is like, what happened? The halfling says, can you give him his loincloth back?
And throw it back at him.
Do you catch it?
Yeah, I catch it.
Just kind of wraps around your hand.
And I throw my hand in the air. I have a new title. Am I the first? Am I really the first?
Yes, you're the first.
Your notoriety. We'll have to.
We have a winner.
And what
What
do
does
I
he
win?
win?
You can. Sorry, 1 second.
Choose from these 3 stuffed animals.
You can roll a d8.
A D8. Ooh, I never roll D8s. Okay, let's see here. An 8.
Get out. An 8?
An 8, yeah.
He walks over to you and slaps something in your hand and goes, just don't go around telling everyone you did it. There's a lot riding on this. This is my only income.
I look at what's in my hand. What is it?
It is an all-you-can-drink pass for the fairgrounds.
I look at it and my eyes just like,
the day.
and I go, you will never hear a peep from me.
Somehow, I don't think that's true.
Until
but
he's drunk.
And like I walk, yeah. I look, I'm beaming as I walk out of the pen. Yeah.
You put your clothes on, like your loincloth?
What'd you win?
And I show off my awesome, all I can drink pass for the whole festival.
So drinks are unlost.
Yep.
Um,
But I'm not gonna drink. Somebody's gonna have to carry him later, I think.
And then yes, and then I'll try to put back my armor on without my loincloth. The loincloth is toast now. That's kind of gross to put back on. So yeah. I'm gonna have to deal with the chafing.
Adeline's not here to clean it with prestidigitation, so
No.
yeah. So you can take a couple minutes to put your clothes on and things, and there are various sort of like little ale carts dotted around that you can constantly refill your cup.
Your commemorative cup.
Yep. It's like a big like wooden tankard that says Boldar Bouts on it, and it's like a big gulp. It's massive.
Nice.
And it is like the cheapest, shittiest ale. It's like almost completely see-through, but it'll get you there eventually.
Got it. Awesome.
Yeah, so David says, well, that was interesting, but I really do have to get back to the bar.
Okay. Thanks for coming with us.
Of course. Enjoy the rest of your day, and you can come and find me later if you want.
Of course I want to. So, and then I'll give him a hug.
Like bright red, like rosy cheeks now is completely like one tone of like red across his face, and he says, "Oh, bye everyone," and then just.
What a weirdo.
Oh, I think he's nice.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he might be
he's the
weird.
worst.
Why?
Because he was near my sister when she fell off those stairs. I don't know if he was the one to cause it or not. So I can only assume he was.
I don't think he would have done that on purpose.
Doesn't matter.
But he was the one who gave us all that information about the copper skull and like helped us know that we need to go.
Yeah, because he's trying to cover up the fact that he tried to kill you.
Yeah, but even before that happened, where he knocked her off the stool thing, he was helping us to get in to see the council.
He didn't
I don't
knock me
care.
off of anything. I passed out.
Oh, well,
I can't be
Lily
for
just
sure.
said he knocked you off.
No, I passed out.
Okay. Well, I agree he should have caught you.
How?
Well, he was standing right next to you. If he would have seen you pass out, he should have held you from falling, right?
Well, I don't think he was really looking at me. He was showing me stuff, and we were looking at the copper things, and he showed me how it had changed and stuff, and and then I saw it, and I had all these visions of the copper skull, and it was just a lot all at one time, and I've never passed out before that, though. So,
Yeah.
anyway, I think he's just a nice
I don't.
fella.
Yeah, I think he's nice. He's very nice. I don't think he means any harm
I don't either.
to your sister Lily.
I don't like him.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter because we're gonna leave later anyway. But we should stay friends with him.
You can.
Okay.
What do you think they're doing over there with those pies? Because I would like to eat something.
You guys can make another perception check if you like.
I think I got I've got grease in my mouth, and I just have a really bad taste. I don't want to eat anything for a while.
I got a 27.
I also got a 27.
Damn.
I got a 15.
Good stuff. DC wasn't super high, guys. So now you can see
That was
a couple.
it.
Now you can see a couple of the other stands. There's a small sort of fold-up table that is being manned by a very short individual wearing.
Isn't everyone here short?
No, not necessarily. You met a half elf that was taking money at the fence.
Yeah, but like most people here are dwarves, and right?
So there's a lot of dwarves. He's particularly short. He is not
okay.
short and stout. He is just short. Wearing like a top hat, has kind of like a suit jacket, sort of curly mustache. So he's over by the table. There is a platform, like a small box, with a dwarf stood on top of it, looking very proud, and maybe 5-6 feet in front of him is another box. And
Top hat and a mustache sounds familiar to me.
Right. Can we go see?
And yes, you also see another dwarf in front of this large, what looks like a mound with like a tarp over it. And he's kind of starting to try and gather up a crowd. It's still fairly early for the fair, so he's trying to drum up what business he can at that moment. But you want to go
Top hat,
to...
short man.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Yep. So you head up to the table, which has 3 cups lined up on the tabletop itself. His top hat is kind of popped open. It's kind of come away from its seams and is left open a little bit, which you can see a couple of like rabbit ears kind of poking out through the top. He has different patches and things kind of keeping together his clothing. Looks a little disheveled. Like one of his shoes is kind of open and you can see his foot sticking out from it. And he says,
Well, what can I do for you guys?
Oh, hello. What do you have going on here?
Oh, just, game of cups.
I've never played cups. What is that?
Oh,
he sort of rubs his hands together.
well, cups is a very, very easy to play game where we put a ball underneath one of the cups and we move them around, and you gotta try and keep track of where the ball is.
Oh. Well, that sounds easy enough. I can try.
All right, I'll take a silver then, please.
Sure. And I'll hand him a silver.
Thank you.
And he kind of flicks it up, and out of the hole in his hat, a like very feral-looking rat comes out, but the bunny ears are sort of tied around his chin with like a bit of string on it, and it just kind of grabs onto the coin and then heads back into his hat.
Oh, what's their name?
That's my rabbit.
Of course it is. And this is my cat. And I'll point to the skeleton cat on my shoulder.
Oh, Jesus.
Her name is Poppy.
I see. My rabbit's name is Rabbit.
That's convenient.
Well, some people get confused when they see him.
Especially
But it's a rabbit, so I made his name Rabbit.
because it's not a rabbit.
No. Because he's just different.
So is Poppy.
I understand that.
What?
I'm a human girl.
He's
That's
so
just
different.
different.
What's your name again?
My name is Jasper.
Hi, Jasper.
Hello, I'm Jasper the Phantasmic. Dappleboot the third.
It's nice to meet you, Jasper.
It's nice to... No. My name is Jaspert.
Oh, nice to meet you, Jasper.
Thank you. So,
Let's play.
we're up for a game of cups, are we?
Yeah.
Let's go.
And so he starts shuffling, like kind of slowly at the beginning, moving around the cups on the board, and then every now and then he'll move his hand, and it doesn't look like anything moves. And he starts getting a little faster and a little faster, and it sort of looks like he's moving one, but then a different one moves off to the side, and they start switching places and things. And I need you to either make a perception check or an insight check.
I would also like to just stare right next to my sister, just slightly behind her, as I usually do.
Just menacingly. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm watching the cups as well.
It's the same for both of mine, so it is 23.
23.
So this is the game for us.
Yes, that's what I kind of figured.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that. Cool. Okay. Where do you think it is? Which cup do you think it is?
I have followed closely, even with his fast movements, and it's the middle cup.
I was gonna say that too.
Okay.
He kind of looks nervous for a second, and he opens it up and goes, "Sorry." There's nothing there. He puts it back down.
Who's next?
Can I try again?
Me.
You want to try again? That's another silver.
Sure. But I'll do it again.
All right.
And so he starts doing his shuffle again. Make another perception check or an insight check.
It is 26.
26. Okay, so you're paying very close attention this time. And as he's moving the ball around, you notice that every so often he gets close to his person, and there's this one movement that he makes where he moves the cup with his elbow on one side, and as he moves it, he touches his chest pocket and moves it back and keeps moving.
Well, where do you think it is?
I think it's in your pocket.
Then why would you say that? It's obviously under one of these cups. That's the game.
Oh, well,
You
is
gotta
it,
pick it up.
is it in your pocket?
No.
Are you being honest with me?
Sure.
Insight check.
Yeah. Insight. 23 insight on that one.
It's like 21. Yeah.
I'm gonna roll with disadvantage because you saw. Oh, it's the same roll twice. I rolled a 27.
Oh.
But because you saw him tap the pocket with that stupid high perception check that beat his sleight of hand, there's something not quite up, and I don't think he's gonna admit it.
Well,
I'm gonna use my
If-
psychic and just say in his head, it's not nice to lie to people, and he doesn't know where it's coming from because it's completely psychic in his head. He doesn't know it's coming from me at all.
He just kind of flinches and looks around.
well, if it's not in your pocket, you'll just show us what's in your pocket. And then I'll pick it
Why
up.
would I do that? It's private.
Or, and we could flip all three bowls over.
Why would we
It's
do
got to be
that?
under one of them, right?
If she said it's not under any of the bowls, then you can just prove that it is by flipping them over. Actually, you know what? Maybe we should flip them over because that seems fair. Because if you do it, you seem to have really fast hands. You might put it under there when it's not under there right now.
I don't know what kind of aspersions you're casting on my character.
She said it's in your pocket, and she's never been wrong before that I've been under.
How about if it's not in your pocket? No, I'll do it even better. This is your living, right? This is what you do for a living?
Yeah.
Unconvinced.
If it's in your pocket, I'll give you a silver. Because it'll make me feel good to know that I was right.
Did you say if it's in his pocket, you'll give him a silver? But then you still win because you got it right.
But I win, and that's all that matters.
I'll tell you what, if it's not in your pocket, I'll give you a gold.
No,
But you
because
have-
what if he uses his magic to move it? I want to prove that I'm right.
Okay.
But now I can get a gold.
No. No, she told me not to offer that, so I don't offer it.
Oh. Well, win-win.
And he just pulls the ball out from his pocket.
There you go. You have quite the operation happening over here.
Oh, you don't know the half of it.
I think I do. I know at least half of it. But here's your silver. And
Thank you.
try to let somebody win every once in a while.
Here, have one of these prize tokens. They gave me a bunch on the way in.
Roll a d8.
Okay. Seven.
He he like reaches under the table and comes up with a like a small wooden cup
Oh.
and says,
Be careful. It's yours now.
Well, thank you. What is it?
if you look into it, it is filled to the brim with water, and inside is a goldfish.
Ugh. I'll offer it to Poppy.
Just
I don't think
reaches in, scoops it up, and it just falls out of its ribs.
I want to pick up the goldfish. I want to put it in my bag of teeth.
it's alive still.
It won't be for long.
Okay.
I didn't see nothing.
I mean,
and
did
neither did
Poppy
you.
like chew it like at all, or just swallow it?
Swallowed it, and it fell out like.
Oh. That's fine.
Put it in my.
What's its name?
Well, I don't know. It's yours.
Oh,
Do you want to name it now? It's in a bag of
I
teeth.
think that that's probably the worst time to name something.
After it was.
That is what they say. Is the worst time to name something is when it's in a bag of teeth.
Usually a bag of teeth is someone's mouth.
That's a really morbid way about talking about people's faces.
I don't mean it. Morbid.
I
All right.
like it.
Yeah.
Lily, did you want to play, or did we kind of put a hole in this one?
Yep.
Well,
Goodbye.
Do you have a different game, Jasper?
Of sorts, but it's a one-player game, and I'm the player.
Oh.
Bye.
And he just backs up the table and sort of takes off through the crowd.
Bye.
Oh, so he's just done now.
I mean, he did make like 3 or 4 silver off of me.
And you got a goldfish.
He's staying in the fair. He's just
Moving along.
Yep.
Okay. Jasper.
And so, as Jasper's table is folded up and he takes off through the crowd, that's where we're going to take our little 10-minute break. And then we'll see what else everyone wants to do. Yeah. Thanks, guys. This is fun.
every time.
Welcome back, guys. You are watching the Fables of Gahlia on the Swole Initiative Network, the correct way to start your weekend. Last we left off, our 4 members of the Army of Fate had entered into the Boldar Bouts, a local fair outside the dwarven city of Boldar. You guys had managed to catch El Blanco, the fabled greased pig, and then were able to foil Jasper Dappleboot's game of cups as well. So, looking around, currently there is still the table of pies. There is the small box with the dwarf on it facing another box about 5 feet away from him. And there is the 2 lanes with the yoke goats in it, and the dwarf stood next to the large mound with a tarp over it. What would you like to do?
I want to know what's going on with this mound.
Let's go. I will follow Lily.
Yep.
I'm just gonna walk up and stare.
Dwarf looks up and says,
Oh, I see. You practicing? You want to wear it out? You want to wear it out?
What is this?
This is a staring contest, he said, like eyes wide.
Oh, shit.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
That's not even fair.
Yeah,
Lily gets to roll with triple advantage.
it is 1 silver.
I'll give him a
10.
silver. Or my sister gives him a silver.
keeper of the monies.
Thank you. All right. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm not ready. You're not facing me.
Okay.
You're facing Iris.
And he grabs the top and pulls it off.
Yes.
And there is this huge being just kind of sunken over itself. Large, bald head with a couple of hairs sticking out of it. Its tan skin kind of leathery and beaten by the sun. Dressed in just tatters and cloth over it. Iris looks up and opens its one giant eye. This is a stare off with Iris the Cyclops. As she sits there, cross-legged, belly in lap.
You got this, Lily.
Looks up and opens its giant eye with its the iris of Iris is this deep ruby red, and you can see everything because the eye is so large. You can see absolutely everything, like all of the muscle twitches and all of the small capillaries, whatever.
You say it how you want to say it, Jay.
That go through this large, like, intimidating eye, and you begin to stare, and it goes quiet as you two just face each other, not looking away. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, no.
What
That's
the
just
fuck?
rude.
That's like one of my worst things.
I think he knew that.
Well, no, because this was written in advance, and also because of your semi-dead nature, and we've already established that you stare through like weird things. I will give you advantage on your roll.
Okay, cool. Come on, Norse Foundry. 16.
16. Easy through this first sort of 30 seconds to a minute of you just standing there looking up at Iris as she sort of beams down with this giant orb of an eye. I need you to make another Constitution saving throw as we enter the second minute. With advantage.
Anybody have onion?
Okay.
Onions would be
We're
great.
at 17.
17.
Yep. 16 on the die.
You're starting to feel like the edges of your eye starting to like dry more than usual, and it starts to itch, but you stave it off. You're not fazed by this.
Oh, I don't even know what that is. It just feels weird.
It's been a long time since you've sort of stared this long. As you watch as Iris's large eye kind of like the corners of her eyes start to like twitch a little bit as we get past the second minute and into the third. Guys, this time is passing so slowly for you guys. I would probably say especially for Lost, as he's so easily bored by all of this stuff. It's like an eternity. You're literally watching people look at each other. I need you to make another Constitution saving throw as we enter the third minute of this staring contest.
Oh my god. 20.
Yeah.
21. I'm gonna take a picture.
Okay, so you start to feel that itching sort of taking over more of your eye and heading into the center of your eyeball, but you determined and having seen the slight twitching in Iris's eye in the corners, you push through it harder than ever and you stare the Cyclops down. You watch as Iris's eye sort of bobs to one side and the other, sort of looking around. As we get into the fourth minute, I need you to make...
Blink your fucking eyeball.
I need you to make one more Constitution saving throw. The DCs are already set. I'm not rolling. They're written down here. You have to make... I'm calling it now. You have to make an 18.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Even if I did my knowledge for a past life, I wouldn't make it. 6.
Oh. So close. But just this, it's been almost 5 minutes of you completely unblinking.
I think my eyeball falls out.
Is that what happens?
I think so, yeah. That's what I would like.
It count as a blink.
It's still on its thing, tendril, whatever you call it.
So she didn't
Not
blink.
just the finger that falls out. It's not Looney Tunes. So you're staring so hard that you force your eyelids open a little bit too far and it falls out, and you quickly grab for it, and as you do, your other eye blinks closed, and the dwarf yells, "Yeah, and Iris is the winner." Sorry, love. That was a really good go, though.
Why do you keep her covered in a tarp?
To keep her eye fresh.
Yeah, but
Also, it's
a
so much.
living creature, and
It's
she
so much
will-
better when I unveil it. If everyone saw this, they wouldn't come near it.
It could be like a tent, or
Ooh, that would be ominous, walking into a dark tent.
Suppose I could.
She'd probably
Just
enjoy
think that
better.
Iris deserves a little more respect.
Well, don't get me wrong, I love Iris to bits.
So she makes 50% of the profits that you make.
Or maybe a little more since she's the performer.
Oh yes.
Well, we don't split it, but we look after each other.
I believe that. I think. Can I insight?
Yeah, but
check
it's
him?
like
You can insight check.
you described her like with
It's a
like
nat 20.
cloth and like dirty and stuff, right?
Natural 20 on
Yeah,
your insight?
So it's 28.
What's that a total of?
28.
28. Yeah, you see that he's being genuine. And yes, he was saying about him.
Like you described her
being-
like with like, you know, not the best appearance.
Yeah, I mean, she's a Cyclops.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. Just because she has one eye doesn't mean she can't be.
I mean, it's not just a person with one eye. This is a Cyclops. It's like finding a troll.
Right.
These are sort of
She's like really
large.
big.
Someone finds her attractive.
Yeah, another Cyclops probably.
I want to take one of my scarves that I bought from the place that we were at with the wolves.
Elder Witch. I mean, no.
Vargaden.
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 I would like take one of my scarves. Now, is she so big that I can't wrap a scarf around her neck, or do I need to put it around her?
I mean,
arm?
if you do you approach her?
Yes. Is she okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, she's unchained.
Yeah, I know.
She's
I'm
just
not,
sat there cross-legged.
I very like. I'm being like not aggressive in my approach. I'll say.
Okay.
She's not a dog.
I know, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, I'm not like, you know. I will take the scarf and I'll just like put it around her like head, like
She
old
like
movie stars.
leans over.
There you go, and I'll tie
Like,
it. Yeah, like old movie stars.
it
And
probably
I'll,
gets to about here.
I make sure that it's above her eye. She can see fine. And then I'll just tie it around her. And be like, look how pretty.
She leans back up and she goes, and as she does like one like tooth, like pointed tooth, not like a tusk, but just like a jagged tooth kind of sticks up. He said, "This is all for show. The cloth.
Yeah.
It's part of the show.
Well, it's a good show. You did great.
Well, I know. That's why we do the reveal thing. She knows about it.
Okay.
You should look into a tent though. Could be cool.
A tent would be cool. Maybe we can like organize our funds and invest in a large tent.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Has to
would
be
like,
large, big tent.
Right, it would have to be big. I would like to be your first investor, and I'll put a
Me
gold
too.
piece in his hand.
I was gonna also give him a gold piece.
Of course.
And I'm gonna say to Iris in giant language, I'm gonna tell her she has a very beautiful eye.
She like blinks, and you kind of hear it like as she does, and she puts a hand up and just kind of goes on your head, and it's like like you feel your neck kind of compress a little bit.
My hat is crushed.
Yeah, your hat's now down by your snout, like. And you just,
She like that.
but do you both give him a gold?
Yes.
He offers up a prize token to you each.
Oh, is that another
So
D?
you can
Oh.
both roll a d8.
I got an 8.
I got a 7.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. Should we re-roll?
Another goldfish.
No,
Add it to the collection.
I've got multiple tables,
Okay.
guys.
Oh, wait, now I'm collecting goldfish instead of fingers. Cool.
That checks.
Just poured them all in the bag. No, you got a 7 and an 8.
Yeah.
This is fun. So, Rose, you get free drinks for a year at a local tavern.
I think she probably already had that.
And a 7, you get a it's a blank notebook. It's decorated on the cover with the name Boldar Bouts, and there's like little roses around it.
It's nice.
It's really nice.
Is there anything in it?
So it's a blank book.
Oh. Just in case you run out of paper in your other journal, you can keep a log of all the debt that Lost has with us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
It's bound to happen.
What did you get, Rose?
I have free drinks for a year to a local tavern.
Oh, that's neat. Well, we're not going to be here for a
Yeah,
long time.
that's unfortunate.
You
I'll
know
keep
what,
it.
though? Oh, okay. I was going to say we could give it to my friend, Priest.
Oh, I could give it to Mr. Darcy.
Yeah,
He might give us a really cool magical item for something like
that's
this.
true. That's true.
We'll think about it.
Okay.
Okay.
So where are the
What-
fights?
Yeah, let's let him go.
I want to do that too. Maybe we could get into like a 2-on-2.
The dwarf overhears you talking about fights because he didn't say that you walked off.
We did.
That makes sense.
just standing there awkwardly as he stood there with his cyclops. He said, "Well, if you're looking for a battle, you'd always head over to the Yote Goats."
Oh, is
The yoke
that what
goats.
they're doing?
Are we battling the Yote Goats? Are we?
I
Battling
don't
on
think
the
so.
Back of the goats?
I think that's more it.
Got it.
Oh,
You ever had a joust before?
That's what I thought it was.
no.
Nope.
Don't know why I gasped. I don't think I would know what that is.
I have no idea what that is.
So shocked was she that she didn't know. Great. So yeah, so there's what you now know to be the Yote Goat jousting, and then there's also the table with the pies, and then the dwarf on the box.
Hmm.
The dwarf on the box is what?
We don't know.
A dwarf on a box.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Can we ask this guy?
If you'd like.
Okay, so yoke goat jousting. What's the guy with the box? Says boxes?
Well, he has a box, and then there's a box opposite him.
So you're supposed to sit on the other box?
Well, you stand on it,
Oh, okay.
and then you hurl insults at one another.
Oh, I'm no good at that.
I've never been very good at that either.
I'd say it's more for someone who enjoys performing than anything. You gotta whip the crowd up.
I think I'd rather disappear into a crowd.
There's a tinkle in me that would like that, but I don't know.
You should
Gotta
do
tinkle. Bathrooms are on the back.
I don't need to use the restroom.
Oh,
Do you?
not right now.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. All right, shall we go to the jousting?
Jousting it is.
Him to the joust. Okay. Yes, you walk over, and there are yoke goats kind of being tended to at either end of the two lanes that are facing one another. There is a like a fence post bar that goes down the two lanes separating them. So you're gonna approach from either side towards each other like a joust. There are some stands with people sort of taking seats and things, and there's kind of a murmur in the crowd. Who is approaching?
I mean, we're all going over there, right? But I'm not jousting.
No, I'm not jousting.
No thanks.
I mean, I'll try, I guess.
Are you gonna? Well, you can go against each other if you want.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I think that should happen.
Sure.
Oh,
I'll joust
okay.
it, Kyle.
All right.
Okay. So as you approach the lanes, sort of hopping out from the stands and running over at a lightning pace and kind of skidding, this tabaxi slides in, this sort of very feline-looking person. Fairly tall, slender, has kind of like a almost like a cheetah print to it, but its snout is much longer than a cheetah's. And he looks over and says, "Well, to joust?
Sure.
Excellent. You need to pick your yacht goat, and then we can get started."
Are they all the same looking, or are there any different colors?
I mean, there's a few different colors. They're mainly different shades of gray and things, but there's one that's kind of like got like brown patches around the eyes and a couple of brown patches across its body. There's one that's completely black.
I want the black one.
All right, one for Phyllis.
Phyllis? All right.
I don't know much about yoke goats. Are they all equally yoke?
All of our yoke goats are yoked goats.
I am going to pick the most endowed yoke goat. Blessed
I
yoke goat.
will leave you to determine which one is more endowed than the other. But as you can see, all of our yoke goats are of prime quality. And he grabs one by the neck and pulls it over. Its eyes are looking in two different directions and just goes, "Ah!"
Okay, I think that's the one. That's the one.
That's the one.
That's. I'm trained in animal handling, and I know that's the one. Yes. Just kidding.
Okay, so one for Phyllis and one for Tommy.
All right.
Armor is not permitted.
Ah, Lost look excited. He starts to strip down again.
But you don't have your loincloth on. So you have to wear clothes. Like
You wear pants.
I have
you
leather
take
pants.
your breastplate off.
Yeah, take our breastplate off. Yeah.
And your pauldron and things. And you're given like these wooden jousting lances. And so you guys saddle up at both ends, getting to know your respective yoke goats. And so your AC for this is going to be just straight 10 plus dex.
Okay.
So bear that
I
in
can't,
mind.
I can't use my AC.
What's that?
I can't use my regular AC.
Oh, that's right.
My
'cause you're a
unarmored
monk.
AC. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be able to use that. Yeah.
Okay.
I won't penalize you for that. And so, as you saddle and get ready, there's one tabaxi behind each goat, and there's three tabaxis. There's one at each side tending to the goats, and then there's the one that you speaking to, the cheetah print one. He is in the center, and he holds up a handkerchief, looks at both sides, says, "Ready? Good. Ready?"
Yep.
And he lets it go, and both tabaxis at the same time like slap the ass of the yoke goats, and they and then just take off towards each other, not in a straight line. They're kind of all over the place, but heading in the one direction that they're kind of corralled into. As you sort of head into the center, I need you both to make attack rolls without your proficiency bonus.
Without proficiency bonus.
Without proficiency, yeah.
Just unarmored? Or
This
Strength,
would
right?
be this would be strength, yeah.
Yes. Okay. How many rounds is this?
Best of 3.
Best of 3. Oh, okay. 17.
18.
Oh!
I rolled a 17. I got a +1.
Okay, so they both hit, right?
No.
It doesn't hit you?
No, I have a 19 AC.
Oh! Yeah, so as you see the lance coming towards you, and you're able to just kind of move off to the side as it glances past you, Kaya. And as you do, you turn away, and that like instinctively turns towards Lost, and it jabs him square in the solar plexus. And you can hear the stance. Everyone goes, "Ooh."
I'm sorry.
I need you to make an animal handling check to try and stay on the yoke goat. You have to make a 17.
A 17. Whoa. I've got an 8.
8 total?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like it's like that Street Fighter finish, right? Where it's like hits you and you're like, ooh, 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 ooh. And you let go of the reins and fall into the hay in the lane, and everyone's like, ooh. Tabaxi runs up on all fours and stands up and goes, "Are you okay?"
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Clicking in front of you and things, like checking your vision.
Yep. I'm fine.
I'm sorry, and I'm turning around and I'm like riding back. I'm
The yoke
sorry.
goat's taken off to the other side.
I guess not.
Like, sorry. Oh!
I am so outmatched with the unarmored monk with wisdom. Okay, let's do this again.
All right. So Tabaxi goes, "You ready to go again?"
Yes.
All right, let's get you up. Like offers his hand, like pulls you back up, sets you back up. The center Tabaxi, the cheetah print one, has his handkerchief again, drops it, slap as you towards each other. Go ahead and roll your attack rolls.
And as I get close to Kaya, right?
Yeah.
I get close to Kaya, and right about when his stick is about to hit me, I misty step 1 foot while on my goat. I misty step 1 foot, and when I appear, jam it stick right into
back
the
onto the yoke goat.
Yep.
As to skip it.
Yep. And hopefully the misbalance of him trying to hit nothing in the air might give me some kind of advantage against his 19 armor class.
Well, I mean, if you Misty Step for
I-
if my stick would go through you and they're the same length, then your stick would go through past. It would skip me too.
Oh no, I'll whack you from the side.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so for this,
Alright.
to keep the game simple, I'm going to give Lost a +3 to AC for that,
Okay.
just for you to have to react a little bit faster against his Misty Step. Fair?
That's fair.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Make your attack rolls.
That
I
is
rolled a 12.
1.
A 1.
How many ones have you rolled tonight?
21.
21. No,
Oh,
21.
I was going to say you look pretty proud of yourself.
What?
Okay. So 21, and Kyle, what did you roll?
I rolled a 12.
A 12.
Good work.
Okay, so this time that Misty Step kicks in, like almost so quickly that it's like he almost didn't leave. But it is that moment that your lance just kind of glances straight through the empty space as you look down and watch the lance come in and hit you square in the chest. I need you to make an animal handling.
once.
17 is the DC.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's a lot.
15.
Oh, so close.
Yeah.
So close. But yet, you're taken off and you slide over to the side and off the saddle, rolling in the hay.
That's cheating. All right, if that's the way you're gonna do it, I'm gonna get up really fast. I'm gonna like turn it into like a bounce up, and I'm gonna start chasing my goat.
Okay. Yes, I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, so so you're eventually able to catch up with Phyllis and resaddle. Lost, you're being resituated with Tommy.
Okay.
And set up against each other. Tabaxi enters the center and says, "This is the final round. One each. This round determines the winner. Is there anything you'd like to say to one another in this moment?" Good. Go. The slabs go off towards each other. Make your attack rolls.
Okay.
All right.
I have action surge. Am I
So do
able
I.
to use that in any way?
Not in this.
No, huh? Okay.
Not in
Okay.
this.
Okay.
It's gonna be hard for you to make 2 actions.
I rolled
while-
pretty high. It's a 22.
Okay.
22.
Well, that hits, but I rolled a 20.
Oh, that hit
So you
too.
both hit.
Yep.
So the lance is like you're aiming in and training in on one another, coming towards each other. It's like a slow motion. So you're like picking your aimed point, and you hold it in, and with all of the might in your shoulder and chest, you push in to try and land this blow. Slow motion. You guys are watching these goats run towards each other.
Does a lance coming
Lava
in?
going everywhere.
Does a lance coming in count as a missile?
No.
Okay.
He's not throwing it.
It's
It's,
coming really fast though. I was just
So
Good
the
try.
lances hit one another and splinter off. As both of you are knocked off balance, you both need to make animal handling checks
I am terrible at this. Let me see.
with a DC of 17. If one of you makes it and one of you doesn't,
I got a 6.
I got a 20. I rolled a 16.
oh!
Yeah.
Nicely done. So, yes, sort of trained back to that time, riding horses and everything through the Sabulous Plains, you start to fall and you grab onto the saddle, which is not tied on particularly tightly, and it slides around, but you're able to grip on with your legs, and you are basically like riding like on the side.
Oh,
like
I've been there.
Western style, but you stay on the yoke goat right up to the gates at the end, and everyone's like, yeah! Cheering. One of the tabaxis comes over to Lost and says, sorry, you don't win them all, hey?
I'm like a sour sport. I just gotta walk off from there.
with your big gulp cup.
With my big gulp cup, just chugging away.
The Cheetah Prince Tabaxi like raises your hand in front of the stands, Kaya, and says, "Go ahead and take your prize. I need you to roll a d8."
All right. That's a 6. Finally, something besides an 8 or a 7.
He hands you a small, thinly carved stick, ornately carved with these roses down the side, with Boldar Bouts carved into the side. He hands that to you. You have a wand that has 6 charges of prestidigitation.
Oh, that's awesome.
They don't recharge, so once you use it, they're gone. But it has 6 charges of prestidigitation. Costs an action to use it in case.
Because the wand doesn't get burnt up at the end, though, right?
Well, you don't know.
Okay, I'll have to remember. All right, this is so wonderful. Thank you so much. Good, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I take any.
Oh, here's a silver.
Oh, thank you. I take that too.
I don't think that's what they were saying.
But it is now.
But it's great that we interpreted it that way.
I also take any money. So thank you.
I gotta get rid of the silver now.
Enjoy your wand.
I will. Thank you. And
So you rejoin the
I'm
party.
I'm gonna walk over to Lost. I'm gonna say, hold out your loincloth.
Ooh.
You're not gonna take me out to dinner first? Jeez.
I'm taking you to dinner. We've had dinner together before.
Kind of forward, Kaya.
Just hold it out. I don't want it.
Gross.
All right. So yeah, okay. I guess I dropped trowel.
I thought you weren't wearing it.
You're not wearing it. You said you
You're not wearing it.
You said you were.
You said you didn't put it back on because it was gross.
Yeah, I'm joking. I forgot. I dropped out. Like, oh shit. My bad. I'm sorry.
It's just instinct for you to do that.
I'm always ready to take off my clothing, so I wasn't prepared.
Always ready.
We've seen your junk. We don't need to see it anymore.
It's in my pocket. Yeah.
Listen.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, and I'm gonna. This is so cool. I get to cast a spell. I'm gonna cast prestidigitation. And
Is there a word you have to say, or did you just?
I don't think so.
No.
And then just it's gonna be completely dry and clean.
Yeah, it's a wand, so you only have to like think about activating the spell.
That felt so cool.
And so, and as you do, like there's like this puff of smoke, and in the smoke it says Boldar Bouts Yoked Goat Lancing winner before it dissipates, and your loincloth is degreased.
Well, Thank you, Kaya.
Which, if you weren't watching at the beginning,
Since I have my pants on, I will put on my loincloth and put my pants back on.
there you go.
There you go.
Can I check on my fish? Is it dead yet?
Oh, it stopped moving a while ago.
Okay.
Like, he was staring at that Cyclops for like 5 minutes.
That's fair.
Well, we've got a couple of games left.
Now,
Now that you won a wand of prestidigitation, now I want to do every game because those are some cool prizes.
Well, I can't eat, so that's not, the pie eating
that's
contest.
right. It's a pie
isn't
eating
coming.
contest.
There's the pies, and then there's the insult slinging.
I would like to do the pie eating contest. This like
Pie eating.
teeny tiny little girl would like to do the pie eating contest.
All right, you can see a crowd slowly gathering up. A couple of people in line already that's starting to take their seats in front of some of the pies. There's another dwarf there standing by the table, sort of organizing everything and making sure that they're no one's starting eating anything before the contest goes off, and says, so as you approach, he's like, we got room for one more. Are you jumping in?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and take your seat. That center one right there.
Okay.
And so it's like a half of a picnic bench. So it's like a table and then a bench like right behind it. So you take a seat in front of this this large pie. There's another dwarf next to you that leans over and says, "Do you know what's in it?"
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. I'll give it a sniff.
Make a nature check.
Well, I'm not really good at that. 9.
Smells meaty.
Oh, it's not a sweet pie. I'm less excited.
The dwarf at the beginning says, "Yeah, that's right. It's a mystery meat pie."
Do you know what the meat is?
Nope. Get ready.
Great.
And so there's 3 other people at the table with pies in front of them. Some of them looking like ready to game on. Some of them looking nervous after that introduction of mystery meat. And then you hear 3, 2, 1, off you go. And so they just start cramming pie into their face, like it's all spilling out of the sides of their mouths and things. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20, yeah. You get to the end of the pie and look around at everyone. There's a couple. There's one that gets halfway through and just starts slowing down with one piece, and then goes to grab more and just unloads off the side of the bench. Everyone's like, ooh, watching. Another one. Oh, natural 20. They finished it before you. You look up and they're already done, waiting there, drumming their fingers, ready for the next one.
Next one.
Oh yeah, no, this is the last man standing.
Oh, good.
And the other one just kind of finishes up a little bit after you and is like, ugh. And so they collect up all the empty pies and put another one in front of you. Everyone ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go! And everyone's again.
Natural 20. No shit. on my rose
Yeah,
dice.
so at this point, the taste is kind of just leveled out to like neutral for you, and you're just in the zone, able to just like scarf down this pie. The other two, oh no, halfway through with a natural one, and the other, what do I have to make? Yes, the other finishes a couple of minutes after you, but is within the time frame, and sort of finishes and sits back up, looks over at you, and it's the dwarf that you had talked to at the beginning. He says, "Well, looks like it's just you and me.
Okay,
Best of luck to you.
same to you.
And another pie gets put in front of you.
3, 2, 1, go!
And eating again. Make another con save.
14.
You needed a 15 for this one. He made his with a 23. So you start feeling a little green, and you start hearing like these it's like sounds coming from your belly, and I need you to make
immediately
one.
cast Lesser Restoration on myself.
I need you to make one final Constitution saving throw to stop yourself from barfing.
Well, I'm trying to do that myself. That is a 17.
17. That'll do it. You kind of just swallow it down, but you kind of wave your hand off. And it's like, well, looks like we have a winner. And stands up and hails the other dwarf there that was next to you. And says, "Oh, better luck next time. That wasn't particularly good pie."
No, it wasn't at all. But I mean, I've had worse.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
But yeah, so he's kind of hailed. Everyone's cheering "Hey!" for the winner of that round.
Well, this isn't one I want to try again.
Yeah, as your stomach's still like.
No, I will actually cast Lesser Restoration on myself.
Okay, yeah,
I mean,
we'll
we're
say
just
that.
doing whatever the hell we want today, right?
that takes away the queasy feeling.
Oh, I don't have that prepared. Never mind. I'm still queasy.
Oh no! So you stuck with it,
Yeah.
at least for a little while, until it settles.
I have Revivify.
I'll let you know if it gets that bad.
I don't think I can cast that on myself. Okay.
But yeah, what would you guys like to do?
Yeah, if this was a drinking contest, I would try it, but pie eating, no.
It was
No.
not very good.
So we're gonna go make fun of the dwarf?
That
Yeah, but
sounds
I'm not
like
any good at
something
that.
You might be good at.
Lily, you should do it
Why?
because you're good at like really good jokes and stuff.
That's true. You made a god laugh.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, so you're going up to the stand.
Yep.
All
And I'd
right.
like to crawl onto the box in the creepiest manner possible.
Before she goes, I'm gonna walk over to her and whisper in her ears. I'm gonna go, "Can you call up a funny spirit to help you? Cheat."
Just stare at him.
Big brain.
Okay. So as you sort of crawl creepily onto this box, standing up opposite the dwarf with a big black beard, sort of bushy, disheveled hair.
I would like to, before she starts, go over and boop her on the nose. And when I do, I'm casting guidance on her.
Okay, there we go.
Just a nose boop.
Just a nose boop.
Just that. Yep. Okay. Guidance. So you get a D4 on your next roll.
Ability checks.
So you creepily kind of crack and stand up onto this box. It's only like a milk crate kind of size box.
Oh, I thought it was like a crate.
No.
Damn it.
I think the fact that it's smaller makes it even
super
creepier.
weird. Yeah, the fact that it's like small, like you don't need to do that at all, is super creepy.
Okay, cool.
You kind of fold up like a slinky, and face off against this dwarf. And he says, "All right, a challenger. Well, I'll let you flip the coin for this one." To see who goes first.
You can go first.
Huh. It's customary to roll the D4 to flip the coin. I need you to roll a D4.
I just wanted him to go first.
Odds is him, evens is you.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, okay. He says, must have been fate. Well. He kind of looks you up and down and says, well, looks like you can't have been from around here, because your eyes look dead tired. And he like puffs up his chest to the crowd. You hear a couple of like, Okay, that is... You rolled a 17. So you need to hurl an insult back.
This is not what Lily does. I specifically took Vicious Mockery off because I was like, this doesn't really make sense for Lily.
You're such good at insults, though.
Is she?
The deadpan.
Deadpan.
Oh God, are there any spirits around him?
In the open plains of the fairground.
Like around him specifically, sometimes there's like a spirit that might be like attached to someone that's like nearby.
You can make a wisdom check.
Okay. Wisdom, that's gonna be a 23.
23. Around him, you see an older female dwarf behind him, sort of fussing over him, like cleaning off his
Like
shoulders
motherly.
and things, and kind of looking after him, like trying to straighten off his hair and things, but obviously she can't really do it. And she's kind of whispering things to him and trying to pep him up and things. Looks very doting
doting. Like I would expect it's his mom.
Yeah, that. I mean, you look at spirits all the time and sort of figure out who they are. So yeah,
Okay,
that would be safe to say. Yeah.
sweet. Through my brows, I say, can't even get your life together. Even your mom in death has to care for you.
Oh, goodness.
And the crowd goes silent.
Oh,
What do I roll?
Performance check.
Okay. Okay. I don't remember what he rolled, but I rolled an 18.
He rolled a 17.
Oh!
You watch as his eyes start to well up.
oh God.
In the middle of the quiet, you just hear Lasserock burst out laughing. That was great.
And he's just stood there, like with his shoulders slack. I don't want to play anymore. He hops down off his crate and just starts walking off into the crowd.
I barred too hard.
If you walk over to his box, you see there is a prize token there. If you'd like to go and
I'll take it.
take it.
Savage.
After absolutely crushing this guy.
Oh my God.
Roll a d8.
I rolled a 6. Should I
6?
feel bad?
I feel bad, and
You, you get a well, I need you to roll a d4 now.
I rolled a 1.
A 1.
It's all you roll, apparently.
So you win a 24-inch high stuffed mimic.
But what's the mimic of?
A chest. Like a classic chest mimic.
It's got a tongue.
Yep, little flappy tongue. It's all filled with like down feather and straw and things to poof it up.
It's like the WizKids one.
Does it glow in the dark too?
No, it's daytime.
Oh, right. What is that?
I don't know what
I
it
don't
is.
know what a mimic is.
It's a chest with a tongue. I've never seen that before.
I know.
Do all
Some
chests
kind of
have tongues?
creature.
Surely I've seen a chest with a tongue before.
Oh, we had chests with clothing in them at home.
That makes sense.
The person sort of running the stand.
What is this?
It's a stuffed mimic.
What's it mimicking?
Well, technically, it's mimicking a mimic.
Oh.
But if you're talking about what the creature is mimicking, that the stuffed thing is mimicking, then it is mimicking a chest.
So this
Is this real?
mimic
I know
is
this
mimicking a...
stuffed.
I mean, it's not alive.
No, but this is like a real thing.
Oh, like a mimic exists? Yes.
But how do you know when you find one?
Oh, they announce themselves.
When they
How?
attack you?
You got it.
Oh.
With what? Their tongue?
And their general face.
Are they
Teeth.
just chests like this? So we just need to be wearing
No, they could be
chests?
anything.
Oh.
They could be anything.
Oh. That's
Like we could-
terrifying.
like it could be like a toilet.
It could be.
That's the scariest thing ever.
Or not.
Oh no.
I feel like Kaya's life just got rocked.
Well, it's terrifying and also going to cause some serious trust issues.
Some serious trust issues in every inanimate object. I don't know. It could be a mimic.
Is it a mimic? A check for mimics. Yeah, he says, if you don't like it, sometimes you can trade them off with some of the kids. Try and get the stuffed animals, mimics, creatures.
Are there other stuffed animals?
Yeah, dotted around. But sometimes the kids win things that they don't really want, and they want the stuffed animals. So sometimes you can find kids if you want to trade it. You guys look a little bewildered by this, so.
Just never seen one before.
Well, now you own one.
Right. Is he going to be okay, by the way?
Honestly, I don't know.
Well, I mean...
Did his mom die recently?
She is dead.
I don't know.
Oh. Well, I mean...
Presumably.
You do put yourself out there to take any kind of insult playing this game.
Fair game. Low blow, but fair game.
I have no sense of understanding on what is a low blow or a high blow.
Maybe it would make him feel good or comforted if you told him that you see her. And she is still taking care of him. And not, I don't think you mean that as an insult this time.
It honestly wasn't. It was just a fact.
Yeah.
I'll go find him.
Okay.
I'll try and search for him wherever he went.
I'll help her.
Okay. Roll a perception check with advantage if you're being helped.
I was going to say, I have a +10 on perception. But I will gladly take advantage. And I rolled 12 on both of them, so 22.
22. Takes you a couple of minutes, because the guy sort of hid between two of the stalls that are out there. But eventually you find him, and you just kind of you hear him before you see him, just kind of sobbing. And you look around the corner and you see like the back of him with his shoulders like jumping up and down with each sob.
His mom still like consoling him in the nearby.
In front of him, trying to wipe his tears away.
Excuse me.
He turns around, there's just snot all in his beard and things, and tear marks down his face. Haven't you had enough?
Well, I mean, I wasn't lying. Your mom is here. She's consoling you and helping you.
Really?
Yeah.
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion, that is a 25.
Dang.
He kind of looks down at the ground, looks back up at you and says, "That's really nice of you to say after you crushed my spirit."
I mean, you did bring up the fact that I'm dead, so I think we both owe each other apologies.
You're dead?
No.
I'm just gonna leave. Just like go, just walks away, like squeezes around the back of the cart to like get away because you're blocking his exit.
Whatever.
Thoroughly freaked out,
Good.
but comforted for a moment.
She tried.
It's around that time that Jarek approaches. Sorry, I got a little held up trying to find the two kobolds. How did you fare at the fair?
I got this, and I'll hold up my mimic stuffed animal.
Ooh. That's large.
Show him your goldfish.
Oh, and I'll open my bag of teeth, and there's a dead goldfish in there too.
You just open it for him to look.
Yeah.
He looks in and says, "That's horrifying. Never show me that again."
Well, I won't need to because you've already seen it.
Correct. Even if you put more in there, I don't want to know.
I'll probably still show you.
I thought as much.
I got a drinks for life token at a local tavern,
Oh,
which I don't need because I'm leaving tonight.
well, I could see if there's somewhere to use that for you.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking you might have something that you might want to trade me for it.
Haha. I see.
For life is a
Suppose we'll have
really
to
long
discuss
time.
I suppose we'll have to discuss that when we get back to the car.
All right. Then I'll hold on to this for now.
And I refill my jug for the road back to the cart.
With a travel lid and a straw.
Bendy straw.
Yep. Well, you guys look like you've had some fun.
Much fun.
Yeah. My eye fell out and I ruined a man's life.
Yep.
That's also horrifying.
It's all in a day's work for the fate army of fate. Do we want to head back to the tavern for a while?
Yes, we can see if we can spend that ticket of yours.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah, we need to check on Roz and Adeline anyway.
That's true. So, you guys pack up after your day at the fair, at the Boulder Bouts, having won your prizes, spent your monies, making your way back into whole Boulder City to meet up with the other two in the party and David. As you head back into Whole Boulder, as the sun is getting lower in the afternoon, that is where we're going to end for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone at home, or wherever you happen to be, I guess, for watching along this little sort of side funny thing while people were away. But thanks so much. Thank you so much for all the subs. I did see those. Thank you so much for all of the follows and things as well. We're going to find someone to raid real quick.
Who's live?
Who indeed? Let's hit browse. Let's look for someone new. All of our friends are in the top. Look at that.
Yeah.
Distal.
There's D&D Shadows of Chimera Old World Charm.
Old World Charm.
Sure. Or Night Owl Nerds.
Oh, I kind of like that name.
Yeah, I like that name too.
Hopefully they're English. Does it say? Okay. Wait, I don't see them. Is it just all one word? Sorry, I can't find it. Night Owl.
Night_owl_nerds. Although it looks like
Happening.
they've got players. They got players over on that Old World Charm.
Well, it's fine.
Is it already gone?
No, I can cancel it.
So we're gonna raid Old World Charm. That's one word.
Thank you so much for sticking with us tonight, guys.
Yes, and don't forget, you can get your "That Dragon Man is a Sexual Deviant" T-shirt from Dice and Devil Horns. I will once again post the link. Computers. There we go. Make sure you stick around for the raid. Drop some raid emotes in there. Let them know that we're crashing the party. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for starting your weekend off the right way. Don't forget that we are on the march to Gary Con as well. So enjoy your weekend. We will see you on Monday for Legends. Have a good night, guys.